Today I'm here to talk about what happened in June 2001. A lot of you have heard Charlemagne's story, but today I'm here to set the record straight about what really happened that night. I met Charlemagne through a mutual friend. His name is Rico. I met Rico through my best friend. Her name is Shaniqua Epps. The night I met Charlemagne, Rico and I were hanging out. He told me he had some business to take care of and he had to stop by the radio station, Z93. So where I'm at right now, standing right in front of what used to be Z93 radio station, here is where I met Charlemagne. Like I said previously, I was introduced to him by Rico, who was a mutual friend of both Charlemagne and mine. Charlemagne worked at the time as a radio DJ. He introduced us. Rico introduced Charlemagne and I sat down. Rico and Charlemagne were discussing music. I kind of sat back while they talked. We left the station, and about 2 days later, Charlemagne called me. I'm not sure how he got my number because I didn't give it to him, but I'm assuming that Rico gave him my number. At the time I met Charlemagne, I was 15 years old. He told me he was 20. Just finding out recently he was actually 22 years old at the time. Our relationship was strictly platonic. We were friends and only friends. This is where Charlemagne came to meet my mom for the first time. Came upstairs to this apartment here to my left, came to meet my mother, spoke to her, introduced himself. And on that day, he took me and my best friend out to lunch to a Chinese buffet. I knew him about maybe, I want to say a month and a half before the incident.
He also, during that time when he introduced himself to me, he said that he would watch over them and promised that they would be fine, and I had nothing to worry about, that they would be safe with him. He came off like he was a brother to a sister kind of relationship. And I trusted this person and allowed my daughter and her friend to go and have lunch at that time. I did not know, and I want to stress it very clearly, I did not know his age at that time. I just figured that he was a friend, hang around friend, possibly even high school. So yes, he did come and he did assure me that my daughter and her girlfriend would be safe with him. So the second time Charlemagne came to my home, I wasn't here. I'm not sure where I was, but my brother answered the door, told Charlemagne I wasn't here. And that was the second occasion. The third occasion was the day of the party. Charlemagne called me one day and told me he was having a party, a beach party, and invited me to the beach party. Initially I said no, but then he said the party was actually for him. It was his birthday. And he said, you know, you're like my sister, you have to be there. And I told him, I said, okay. Give me a second. He had a few guys with him, and one of those guys was a cousin of his by the name of Kenta Palmer. Kenta Palmer was the one driving the sports vehicle. Prior to this day, I had never met Kenta or any of the guys who came to pick us up. I just assumed they were friends and family of his because he was having this alleged birthday party. There were a few guys in the truck and one guy in the sports car. They picked us up late afternoon. Malika and I got into the vehicles. We left. From there, we went to his father's house. Once we got there, I met his father. And there was a few other people there, which I believe were his family members. And they were sitting in there watching TV. We sat there for a while. We left his parents' house and got into the vehicles and drove to, I believe it was a gas station. At the gas station, Malika called my mom to check in, to let her know we were okay. I believe Charlemagne and someone else got out and went inside the gas station, came back into the vehicles, and then we drove to the villa. Once we got there, went inside. Give me a minute. Villa number 30. This is where the party was. Me and Malika walked into the party with Charlemagne, his friends and cousins. I do not want to tell that story again. I don't even want to do bits and pieces of it. Fucking over it. Malika and I sat down and Charlemagne asked us if we wanted something to drink. Malika took a drink, but I told him I was fine, I didn't want to drink. But it's like he kept pressuring me to drink. He was like, this is where Charlemagne gave Malika and I the drinks. He himself made those drinks. He told me that I could trust him. I was like his sister. He would let nothing happen to me that night. He repeatedly asked me over and over and over if I wanted to drink, and even after telling him no several times, he still pressured me. I finally took a drink. Now, mind you, I'm 15 years old. I'm a child. I'm a minor. I'm being pressured into drinking by someone who I thought I could trust. I let my guards down. And I said, you know what? This is my friend. He won't let anything happen to me. And he betrayed me. He allowed his friends or cousins or whoever those guys were to take advantage of me, and he himself took advantage of me as well. He brought me here and left me here.
All right, good evening. This is the Star Report. My name is Star. I'm your host, and I have Malika Joyner on the line with me, the friend and relative of Jessica Reed, who was indeed raped in 2001 in South Carolina at a party where Leonard McKelvey, also known as Charlemagne, did take a plea to contributing to the delinquency of a minor. But Malika, you have come forward, you contacted me, and you want to tell...
Yes.
You want to tell what you saw? I mean, let's just get right to it. What did you see that...
Well, okay, we can get right to it. We were offered drinks. There was something in the drink.
He went in the kitchen, made a drink for me. I took the drink and I sat next to Malika and I was drinking my drink and she was just about done with hers. She just, out of the blue, started throwing up. And the funny thing about it was, after she was throwing up, he kept asking her or trying to give her more drinks. And she was like, you know, I can't drink anymore.
You know, because I didn't know who he was, you know, on the radio. That was my first time ever meeting him. Mm-hmm. I was introduced through Jessica. I knew nothing about him. I was basically going there. She asked me if I would like to go with her. So I said, yeah, I'll go with you, right. You know. So I didn't know him at all prior to this event occurring. I didn't know who he was.
I sat my cup down and I just said, okay, I started feeling weird. And I said, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom. This is what I told myself. And when I got up to go to the bathroom, I fell to the floor. I couldn't move my legs. I couldn't move my arms. It's like I had no control over my limbs. I could see and I could hear, but I couldn't move. So I heard the guys in the back and they were laughing, and Charlemagne was laughing. And he told them to take me upstairs. Taken upstairs by two guys, one named Larry and one named Boo, who took me into a bathroom and violated me and took advantage of me. Charlemagne allowed these guys to take me upstairs. In fact, he told them to take me upstairs after giving me a drink with a drug in it. I got up off the couch and I couldn't even move. I collapsed to the floor. And all he could do was laugh. He didn't ask if I was okay. He didn't help me up. He laughed. So they took me upstairs, and then they took me into the bathroom.
I did see two people escort her upstairs, but like I said, I myself was I was throwing up and so forth. I was out of it too, but I was still able to know what was, able to see and hear what was going on. But it was like everything for me was slow motion. But she was escorted up the stairs with two gentlemen.
Okay. They took me upstairs and took me into the bathroom. And I don't know if I can do this. They took me upstairs and took me into the bathroom. And they had my arms like this. One was here and one was here. And they were holding me up because I couldn't hold myself up. And I had a dress on. I had one arm like this, and Larry was holding me up. And Boo had this other arm, but with his other hand, he was just forcing his fingers in my vagina. And I was just sitting there helpless. I couldn't do nothing. I cannot do this.
At any point, were you in the room together with Jessica when she was being raped, or were you in another room and you came in? How did that play out?
No, she was upstairs. I was downstairs.
Okay.
When they were finished, they just left me in the bathroom and I fell to the floor. And I was just laying on the floor crying. I was just laying there. And then somebody came to the bathroom, picked me up, and put me in the bedroom. Left me in the bedroom, closed the door behind them. I don't know how long I was laying there for, but Larry ended up coming in the bedroom. He came in, he got on the bed, and he started to rub his penis on my body. And all I could do at the time was just try to roll around on the bed. And I was rolling until I eventually fell off the bed. I don't know. I don't even know how I got back onto the bed. I don't even know. But he left. And then Charlemagne came into the room. And I saw Charlemagne's face with my own eyes. When he opened that door, I saw his face. I saw his face. I heard his voice while he was raping me. There's nothing that nobody can say. And started taking off my clothes. And started talking to me in the process. And he kept saying things like, I told you I was going to take care of you and nothing was going to happen to you.
But because I was throwing up, I was still coherent. I was still able to, I was still aware of my surroundings. So
Okay.
he couldn't really, he gave up with me,
And I'm laying there crying. and he's like trying to shush me. I'm sitting there crying, and he tries to shush me, and then he performs oral sex on me. And then he rapes me. And I was trying to move, but I don't know, he was heavy. And it was like nothing I could do.
I was downstairs when Jessica went upstairs to the bathroom, and she was gone quite a while. At that time, I was thrown up and so forth, so it took me quite a bit of time to get to her. But what made me get up to get to her, not even that she was gone for so long, but I heard yelling and screaming, a lot of noise, and like something wasn't right. So that's what made me get up to go find Jessica. And in the process of me finding Jessica, I did see Charlemagne on top of Jessica. I did see Charlemagne on top of Jessica. I did see Charlemagne on top of Jessica. And Jessica was very hysterical. Oh gosh, it was horrible.
I was laying on the bed with no clothes on, and I remember somebody opening the door.
Okay, so you went upstairs and you had to push your way into the room, or the door was open? What?
No, the door was closed. It was not open whatsoever. I had to literally get in. I don't know how, but I mustered up the energy to get in that room.
Okay.
And like I said, I did see Charlemagne on top of Jessica. And in the process, because it was more of a shock, like, how did she get in here? You know, he jumped off her and proceed to run out.
Mm-hmm. So when you came into the room and you claimed that you...
Jessica was hysterical. She was yelling and screaming. I'm trying to figure out, you know, I'm just in shock because I couldn't believe what I saw. Mm-hmm. Like, I was really like, oh my gosh, you know, like, she was, and I'm trying to calm her down and just be there for her. And she had no clothes on. It was horrible. You know, she was yelling, screaming, saying they raped me, they touched me, you know, and it was, wow, it was a lot to take on.
So when you came into the room, did you see, I'm sorry, when you came into the room, did you see Charlemagne's pants down, or did you see him naked? What was...
His pants was down. Yes, his pants was down. When he jumped up, he pulled everything up.
Okay.
And ran out the room.